Okay, I think we're live. I can see us now on Facebook, so it's looking promising. Okay, happy Friday, everybody. I'm just trying to get two screens going here so I can see comments on Facebook. If anybody's here live with us, can you just give me like a thumbs up? Let me know sound is good. Let me know you can hear us okay, that everything is working, that we're live, because I think you guys know I've had some Facebook woes this week, and so I'm just wondering if this is going to be another one of my Facebook woes. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Melanie says it looks like I'm live. So you guys can see that I'm not alone today. I've brought some lovely friends here with me. So yeah, this is my amazing coach team. I feel so lucky that I have a coach team. It's really, really, really exciting. It's born of the fact that I'm pregnant and going to be delivering a baby somewhere through this next launch. So I needed some people to be a support. But yeah, I'm thrilled to have these incredible women here. And I want to introduce them all to you. But I also want to share the final of my pearls from our challenge. Thank you to everybody who's been so amazing at participating this week. I actually, to be honest with you, cannot pick a winner. So that it came down to, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you lovely women who I've written your names on a piece of paper, and I'm going to draw at the end. That's the best thing I can come up with. Okay, so I will draw a winner, and whoever is the lucky winner will be able to get some free coaching with all of this amazing team here. So today's book, which I'm also going to draw a winner for, is Everything is Figure Outable by Marie Forleo. I really love her. She's just got this, like, I think this picture is actually so funny. Like, she looks super sassy, but when you actually interact with her on her platform, she's like kind of dorky and just like says whatever. So I feel like the picture doesn't really fit. Like, she's really fun and laid back and easygoing and cool. And when you listen to her talk, I really like her pearls. So I'm going to share just a really quick passage as my final tip for you guys about how to enjoy being a doctor more than we do some days, right? So this is from her chapter on progress, not perfection. She shares a quote from Elizabeth Gilbert, who's also awesome. Perfection is unachievable. It's a myth and a trap and a hamster wheel that will run you to death. Okay, and this is what Marie has to say about this. Look, I'm a little freaky. I have high and somewhat idiosyncratic standards. My pasta sauce must simmer for no less than 12 hours. I karate chop my throw pillows for aesthetics. Don't knock it till you try that. I totally do this too, by the way. If you guys do that to your pillows, it feels so good to karate chop those pillows. Okay, maybe this is why I like Marie. I like all of my cloth napkins folded in a particular uniform way. Josh loves it when I correct him on this one. My creative director and I laugh at our shared affliction. We're typically the only two who notice the stray pixel in an otherwise impeccable design project. Seriously, did no one catch this glaring oversight? So I understand the primal urge to keep polishing, tweaking, and refining to get something just right. Sound familiar to any of you female physicians out there? Maybe you've done this time or two. All of us are sitting here nodding. We're like, we're not. Medicine has selected for this in us, right? Like, we're like, that's not weird. Everybody does that, don't they? Yet I've come to understand a crucial and sanity-saving distinction. Having and holding yourself to high standards is not the same as perfectionism. Yes, they're related, but the former is healthy and motivating. The latter is dysfunctional at best and deadly at worst. Perfectionism at its core isn't about high standards. It's about fear. Fear of failure, fear of looking stupid, fear of making a mistake, fear of being judged, criticized, and ridiculed. It's a fear that one simple fact might be true. You're just not good enough. I think we can all relate to that idea, right? And this has got to be one of the most toxic beliefs that we as female physicians might adopt and apply to any area of our lives or our very multifaceted lives that can be so incredibly toxic for us. So Marie carries on to say, which by the way is unequivocally untrue. Sure, you may need to build skills and strength to achieve your dream. Who doesn't? But the notion that you fundamentally don't have what it takes is a lie. That voice in your head that says so is just the same repetitive, tired ass shit talker we talked about in the last chapter. The same voice we've now agreed to ardently disobey. Know this, the fear of not being good enough is universal. We all have it. It's that imposter syndrome. We all have it in some aspect of our lives, right? And everyone, and I do mean everyone, wrestles with it. The problem occurs when this fear metastasizes into full-blown perfectionism. Because perfectionism is paralyzing. Perfectionism keeps you suffering and spinning your wheels, but the dangers reach far beyond stuckness. Once perfectionism has a chokehold on your creative force, it will stop at nothing to snuff you out. I think that's a really powerful passage, a really powerful way to end this, right? It's just to reflect on how this is having an impact on our lives and what the cost of that is, right? What is it snuffing out in us? Okay, so I'm going to draw real quick for a winner, and then I'm going to introduce you to these lovely ladies. Okay, Nicole, this book is coming home to you, girls. So I will connect with you later to get you your prize. and I'm going to put you back in the running for the grand prize, okay? Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to these lovely ladies. Okay, I'm going to ask Wendy maybe to say a few words first here, because Wendy, I know, has to run. As you can tell, Wendy's on the job here, but not really on the top. She has time to be here with us for a few minutes. But Wendy, share a pearl, tell us a little bit about you. Thank you so much for joining the team.
I really appreciate that, and I can say that I'm a couple feet away from everybody here, so this is good. So you can actually know who's behind the mask. So thank you so much, Anna. This is so heartwarming to be here with all of you today. To be honest with you, quick introductions. I hate talking about myself. I think it goes back to everything that you were just talking about. That whole imposter syndrome. Why am I here? I'm a pediatrician. I live in Virginia. I have found that I'm truly having a joy in my career. And I gotta tell you, coaching has had a lot to do that. I've kind of transitioned through different positions over the last couple of years. And I kept on thinking, well, this isn't the right fit. This isn't me. This isn't, where I want to be. And I gotta tell you, with coaching, I realized that the theme of choosing your own adventure is really something that just kind of goes through my mind all the time. And it's really something that I didn't really pick up on until I did some pretty fierce self-coaching and really looking at, well, what am I looking for in my career? And truly the pearl for me, the thing that I'm living by, is that I get to choose my own adventure. How do I want to show up? What is it that I want to think? What do I want to, make all of this mean right now? And I got to tell you, I wrote a note to myself today. I was listening to another, an Impossible Goals session today, which I would say there was a lovely lady who really inspired me on. She knows who she is. But one of the things that I kept on thinking about, like, what is the thought that's really going to get me to achieving my impossible goals, right? And I was really thinking about that. And it kind of went along with choosing my own adventure. And I'm not sure what I can say here, so I'll bleep it out, but holy cow, this is fun. Like, seriously, all of it, like, this is fun. And I'm really taking that with me for my impossible goals, but also my clinical practice right now. I'm having so much fun. It's the time of my life. And that just suits me so much. And my boss appreciates it too, because I'm having the time of my life clinically.
And that's so amazing, right? To be like able to say that people that are higher ups appreciate the change in you right through this. Like, that's pretty freaking cool, if you ask me. I love that. And you can say whatever you want here, Wendy. We use all the words, so it's all good.
You know where I was going with that.
Wendy, will you just share with us really quickly, because some of these lovely ladies here might be joining us in our next round. So will you share, like, where what you love to coach on, what you really think you can offer to our kind of sisters in medicine here in terms of if they come on board, why they might want to coach with you specifically.
Sure thing. When you come on board, it's all when you come on board.
Yeah.
Honestly, so I got to tell you, I've been really kind of looking at this over the past couple of months. I'm a general pediatrician, and a big part of general pediatrics to me is not knowing what's behind the next door. That's part of my adventure. You can tell my different character strengths coming out here. So I really like approaching pediatrics and coaching from an open mind, because I realize that the one thing that we may be thinking is the top of our mind right now may kind of transition, and we have a lot of things that kind of run all together. But I got to tell you, my heart is really with working with families, working with parents. And my kind of evolving niche, I guess you would say, is working with families about empowering parents to be the role model that they really want to see for themselves, to be able to address their children's weight and food and the relationships that are all involved there. And so that's something that's evolving right now, to be very honest with you. I enjoy having a lot of practice.
I love it. I love it. Well, Wendy, feel free if you need to go and do your work to jump off. Thank you so much for being here and making time. And okay, let's move on to somebody else here. So Joe, I'm going to go with you next.
Great. Thank you so much, Anna, for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity, and I can't wait to start to meet some more of the women who are going to join this program. So I'm a family physician in Orangeville, Ontario, and funnily enough, just down the road from Anna and from Carol, which is a smaller world than we think. And I've been in practice now for almost 14 years. It'll be 14 years this February. And really looking back, I feel like I've spent a lot of those years really like dreading going to work and kind of just thinking that that was normal and that my job was just supposed to be hard and I was supposed to not like it. And there was nothing really wrong with that because that's just the job I signed up for. So just Anna, when you were saying like what would be a pearl you could give about how you sort of help to love your job again, that I started to recognize that what I was doing every morning, I can picture this sitting in the hospital parking lot, just like I have to get out of my car, I have to go into work, I'll just have to get through this. I just was basically telling myself this story about how terrible my day was going to be. And then lo and behold, I happened to experience not such a great day. And so I've tried to just change that story for myself. And I've really learned this through my experience with coaching and really try to set my intention at the beginning of the day to watch out for moments that remind me why I went into medicine, like to notice those times when I just really have that connection with a patient. They're telling me their story and we just have this beautiful moment, or I see a patient and I think, oh, like I've known this boy since he was a newborn. I was in the OR when he was born. And, isn't that amazing? This is what I always wanted. And just to really like let myself savor those moments because they were always there all the time. Like every day, I'm sure if I look back on those days that I just dreaded and I thought my job was so terrible and difficult, those moments were there. I just wasn't noticing them. And so I think with coaching, I've really started to recognize that I really can write the story of what I want my job to be. I just have to be willing to look for it. So that's really been a great exercise for me to just set my intention at the beginning of the day and say, I want to remind myself of why I do this and what I love about this job and actually what I'm good at. I had the thought when I was initially thinking this, if I think every single prescription renewal that I fill out, which, in family medicine, we do a couple every day or maybe more, what if I chose to believe that every one of those prescriptions I filled out was a patient who really appreciated my advice and liked it so much they were coming back for more. They just wanted to keep doing what I had suggested. Because I think I was just telling myself, a really terrible story about a lot of these aspects of my job. So every day, of course, isn't perfect. And I still tell myself the same story that creates dread sometimes, but I definitely have been able to reconnect more with why I went into medicine and why this was the career that I wanted to love and that I actually can love. Yeah.
What did Marie call it? The shit talking somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'm an expert.
It just makes me think though, like there's actually a real like studies that have shown that apparently we have to let that like inner coach or that that voice that really wants to build us up, speak up 6 times
Yeah.
more than like our inner critic, because we just listen to the inner critic like it's so loud and it's so
Hmm.
innate in us because of the way the human brain functions, for us to listen to that, right? And to try to like retreat into the safe cave because we want to protect ourselves. But yet we have this
Hmm.
other voice, and learning to listen and actually to like fuel that other voice, right?
Hmm.
Like give it a little bit of gasoline to
Yeah.
have some momentum in our life. I think is so important. So thank you so much for that, Jill. If you guys see
Mhm.
me frantically writing, it's because I'm making notes about the pearls so I can do a post and share
Oh,
them
yeah.
all with you.
Yeah, I really see it in my head as if it's almost like a radio dial, right? And it's like, what do I really want to tune into? So those thoughts of dread and, this job is too hard and these patients are too difficult and, my staff never booked the appointments properly, whatever kind of things I was thinking, that channel is still there. It's somewhere, but I'm just tuning in and turning up the volume on what I want to think on purpose. So that's really been real helpful for me. And I think in terms of what I really enjoy coaching on is sort of along this topic of, reminding ourselves of the meaning that we have, but also self-criticism and how to sort of move more into self-compassion has been a big thing for me as well. And I'd really be honored to speak with any of the women who would decide to get involved in this program.
I love that. Thank you so
Mm.
much, Jill. We're so lucky to have you. Okay,
Thank you.
Melanie, you want to take it away? Melanie's not new to the team. She's actually been with me in the shadows for a while, but we're we're like formally growing the team now. Melanie was my bailout plan when I was pregnant and sick, and she's been so wonderful to carry me through.
Aw.
So therefore, we decided to mastermind together and just grow this thing and keep this going,
Well,
despite
Anna,
all the things.
it's been my pleasure, Anna. Your group is just so phenomenal. I can't wait to see how many ladies end up signing up and how many people end up benefiting from this great, awesome program. I beat burnout 3 years ago, and I look back now and I think I don't recognize that person at all. Um, for me, my burnout story was one of not realizing it till I was past it. I kept changing jobs, and I think that was my burnout plan. I was in academics, did that for 5 years, left thinking, I felt like Goldilocks. This isn't it. Went to private practice, and there I'm an internal medicine doctor in Georgia. And in private practice, I was doing inpatient and outpatient, and ended up getting boarded in hospice and palliative care. We had a huge nursing home population. I did that for about 5 years, and I was like, oh no, this isn't it. So moved yet again. This time decided I wasn't going to move my family, and was there for a few years. And I was there for about 6 years and realized that hospital wasn't wasn't doing very well. So decided, no, I need to go, until I found my latest practice. I've been here for 3 years, and also found coaching. And guess what? I realized that there is no ideal practice, but that I get to choose what I control and what I can control and what I can't control. So I went from being this victim that would blame the system, sort of like, I think Jill said that, or was it Wendy? One of the two said that, where I was blaming the scheduler, I was blaming the patients, they were too complicated, where I was blaming my MA, to really learning to love and accept myself. And as I learned to love and accept myself and focus on what I could control, it's like the oceans parted. It was absolutely beautiful. I was able to step into my power. All of a sudden, I went from charting 12 hours a day, having to work on the weekends and feeling like a victim to my job, to really over time being able to walk in there, which is where I am now. I walk in 15 minutes before my clinic starts, sometimes 30. And I get in there, I see my folks, feel connected to these people, and really have fun. I've really learned how to live at work instead of just waiting to exhale at 5 o'clock, and realize that as I finish my notes after every patient, I can walk into the room with a clean slate, and it's just me and my patient and their problem, and we're figuring it out. So, coaching for me started off with me losing weight. I lost a ton of weight and got through that, and realized that the food wasn't the issue. It was all of the reasons that I was overeating. It was all of the ways, it was all of that negative self-talk. that now, after coaching hundreds of physicians, I'm realizing it's not just me, it's all of us. We're all in this together. It's the people pleasing, it's the perfectionism, it's the fear and obligation, it's all of that. And the recipe is something we see over and over again. So I have no doubt that with this panel of awesome coaches, that we're going to be able to help whoever comes in. And having Anna lead us and the videos that she's created for you guys to learn some of these basic concepts have just been absolutely life-changing. It just kind of brings a tear to my eye to compare myself to where I was 3 years ago to where I know a lot of people are right now, who are wondering, did they make a mistake? Am I strong? Am I good enough to make it? I used to believe that the only reason that I had to keep moving was maybe because I just wasn't good enough, and that maybe there was another practice. And now I look back and my story has completely changed. My story now is that I was such a badass that I rebuilt my practice in 4 different locations, and I was successful all 4 times. The only thing I needed to decide is to water my grass right where I was. It's like nobody taught me that. I kept looking for a greener pasture. And now I have the tools that I need. Now I'm not only thinner, now I can do my job. And now I'm even exploring even other things. One of my main goals in coaching is that I want to affect 1 million patient lives by coaching the physicians that treat them. So my specialty is really lack of a specialty. I'm a general life coach for men and women, and I coach on a variety of subjects. It's you and me and your problem, and we're tackling it, and we're figuring out what obstacle is there in your life that's keeping you from creating your dream life. And that's what we do.
So
yeah.
Good. I love it. Oh, you gave me some good quotes there. Learn how to live at work and water your grass right where you are. I love
right
that.
where you are.
Thanks, Melanie. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Okay, no worries, Wendy. Have a good night. Take care. Okay, Nora, why don't you go next? I forgot to tell you guys too that we have totally like an international team going here. We're like 50-50 Canadian and American coaches, and we love Canadian and American and really clients from anywhere else in the world. I haven't had one yet, but we're all about a good breadth of coaches across North America, right? And so we have experience with a variety of issues, and many of us have coached female physicians on both sides of the border. And I think that really at the heart of it, we all share the same struggles. And so, so much of the things that we think are unique about our predicament because we, work in a certain kind of medicine or we like work in a certain system, that is really like coaching goes far beyond those minutiae and details. And so, so it's really fun to see the breadth of stuff here. Okay, Nora, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's so exciting to be here with all of you, the dream team here. So I'm an internist, internal medicine from San Antonio, Texas. And my coaching journey began when I was just really feeling despair, in my job. And I always just kind of felt, I'm a mom to 2 boys. They're young, they're 7 and 9. And, I have my husband, and I was trying to be the best mom, the best doctor, the best spouse, and just like had so many high expectations as like a high achiever, right? We just have like these ideas of like what life should be. And when I felt like I wasn't measuring up, I just felt really hopeless. Like, it was just got me to a point where I was just like, something has to give, something has to change. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to figure it out. And that's when I found coaching, and it just changed everything. It changed my relationships with my husband, with my children. And it's just like so amazing, like with coaching, when you just find like one thought, like that one thought changes everything. And it's that aha moment that you get. And it just like, you see life in a different way. You see your relationships in a different way. And for me, it was this idea of 1 win a day. I just need 1 win a day, 1 win with my children. Because I had these high expectations, like I have to be the mom that's involved, spending like, at least half an hour a day with each boy, and then have time for my husband, and then, always trying to beat the clock at work so I could get home to be there and be present. And literally, like every day I would look at my watch and be like, okay, I need to be out of here by 3:30. I got to be there. And if I'm not, then then I don't have enough time. I'm always rushing, rushing, rushing. And so when I was able to kind of like say, you know what, I just need one win a day. If I can have one win a day with one of my children, that's a win. I'm good. And it's that all or none thinking. We just kind of believe it. And so that just really made all the difference. And then as I got more immersed in the coaching, I just learned that my perfectionistic tendencies were really these high expectations that I had for myself, but then I was also having them for my kids and for my husband. And I also learned like that wasn't serving me at all. That was just leaving me really frustrated day to day. And so when I was able to learn how to let that go and just really enjoy them for who they are, where they are, and that really started with just loving myself where I was, who I was, imperfect, perfectly imperfect, just human. And when I was able to kind of learn that and really, it just changed everything. It just changed my marriage, changed my relationships. And so that's my hope, for the women that participate in this program, is that they get their ha-ha moments. And, with working with this dream team of physician coaches, find more joy and happiness and peace, to stop like chasing that clock, all day long. Like, I just got to, one more patient, one more chart, no, it doesn't have to be that way. There's hope. And that's, my pearl for the day.
I love that. I mean, that, the whole idea of like quality of time over quantity of time is so useful to think on, right? It's like, if how we feel and how present we are when we're with the people that we love in our life is like that is really what life is about, you guys. And so often we have all these rules that we've built into our brains that are like, okay, it has to be this much time, it has to look like this, right? And then when it doesn't fit into the puzzle, or it doesn't look that cookie cutter, right, we're like, failed at everything, it's done. Like, I blew it, right? But yet we miss out on so much when we think that way. So thank you so much for bringing that up, Nora. Okay, all right. Sorry, Nora, did you want to say one more thing? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, no, I mean, just, in terms of like what I love to coach on is just women that want to, build self-compassion. They want to, find joy again in their marriage and their relationships with their kids, their spouse, their partners. And then to find that hope, that there is a solution. And I also, as a Christian, I love coaching women that want to get stronger in their faith and to really live their values in their lives. And so that's also something that's near and dear to my heart too. So I just want to encourage everybody that if you're thinking about coaching, do it. You will never, ever regret it. It is such an amazing investment in yourself. And if you think about like all the money that we've thrown into our medical education, like this is so well worth it because it just changes your life in such a great way that it's awesome.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing that was giving me goosebumps when you were talking, was just like listening to all of you. I think if there's one message that anybody listening to this takes from this, it's this. It's like, listen to how coaching transformed our lives, and we continue to be coached because it's been so transformative. And it's led to us all being in this place where we want to be in this arena. None of us need to do this work, right? We're all physicians. So we're all here because we've seen the effect of this. We've lived the effect of this. And this is why we're here doing this work right now. Okay, Kyle, maybe we'll go with you. And then Carol, you want to finish this up here?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Anna, for encouraging me and coming to this group. I'm looking forward to working with so many of you. So I am a pediatrician. I'm also an integrative physician, and I'm mindfulness certified and a coach. So my journey with coaching became its strongest in the last year. Last year in the fall, one of the coaches who were certifying was like, "Can I practice on you?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, free therapy, whatever that is, And I said, like, who says no to free? And I don't know, she like introduced me to these ideas, and I was like, yeah, fine. You know what? My life was so overwhelming for me. I was so exhausted. I have 2 boys also, so I'm a boy mom just like Nora. My boys are 6 and 8 right now. Yes. And so the energy level is completely different. But yeah, like I didn't know where to go. I was very anxious, and my anxiety was showing up in my relationship with my husband, in my parenting, and definitely at work. Um, I decided to take a couple of years off of work when my boys were born to stay home with them. And that was something that I chose to do, and I wanted to do that. Looking back on it, it stemmed from a level of like underlying anxiety that I didn't understand then. And it was about controlling my environment. If I choose this, then my path will go a certain way. And then when I came back to work in clinical medicine, I did struggle a lot because people didn't understand me. And I kept thinking, oh, it's them, this place, they don't get me. And it wasn't that, I didn't need to spiral because that's something that I'm very comfortable doing. I just have these conversations in my head. And I still work at the same place, but I've fallen in love with medicine again. And I fall in love with just me, right? Because for the longest time, I thought the way to survive as a mom, yes, Melanie, it's true, was, and as a spouse was like, keep chipping away at who I am so others can do well. So my husband, he's also a physician, can be supported in his specialty. My kids can be supported, my parents can be supported, my patients can be supported. But at the end of the day, I chipped away so much of myself that I didn't even recognize me. Like the things that brought me joy, they weren't there. I love to dance. I love to bake. I'm an extrovert. I love people. And I wasn't doing any of that. So last year, I wrote this really desperate letter to, I guess some of you guys know Sunny, and she was giving away a trip to Bora Bora for someone. And I knew her from, outside events. And I was like, I don't know why I'm writing this to you. It doesn't make sense because I never win things because those kind of things don't happen to me. Whatever happens in my life, I've had to work for and I've had to fight for. And I said, but I'm just going to write and say, maybe I could win that trip, And then at the end, I wrote, why not me? And well, I ended up going to Bora Bora. And that changed my life. Not because of the place and anything. It was because something different happened in life where I came alive again. I was like, oh, wow. It's not that these things have happened in my life and I'm struggling in my marriage and everywhere. It's because the way I think about it. And so over the year, I have to say that I have slowly fell in love with myself again. And that's the most beautiful journey, is the journey back to yourself, and it wasn't just the coaching or just the integrative. It's like all these things that just fell into place. But I was finally, my eyes were open. I was finally recognizing that this was happening. And I was open, my heart was open to accept the present. And when things are not going exactly the way I want, to realize that that's okay. That's part of my journey. And it's still beautiful. And I'm still growing. And I am more than enough is where I ended my journey during that trip. And 2020 has really pushed me in directions that I didn't know, I didn't expect, but I have so much gratitude. And then I met Anna in 2020 virtually. And she has this beautiful group. And I was like, wow, that's me. Like, I'm not fragile anymore, right? And you guys aren't fragile either. And you just need to realize that you are more than enough. And so that's my pearl that I wanted to share. And who do I coach with? So yes, I have this background in parenting and mindfulness and integrative. I love to coach moms. That's one of my things that I just is near and dear to my heart. I've spent time, being full-time with my kids and then being full-time at work, and then the combination of the two. And I just understand the struggles. And I know what's going on in here, right? And if we can take care of this, we can manage anything. So yeah, you guys got to sign up for this. Anna is amazing. Her program is amazing. And this group of women is the most encouraging women. I'm just so excited for 2021 with all of you. Thank you.
You're giving me so many good pearls here. Thank you so much. And I'm really humbled by all of these lovely things you guys have to say. Thank you so much. But oh my gosh, if you can take care of this, you can take care of anything, right? Amazing. But oh, seriously, like when I hear those words, fall in love with you, like I think that resonates with so many of us who've been through this journey. I honestly say that like the best relationship I've ever had with myself, I wouldn't even think that like I've ever had a good relationship with myself ever in my life until I did this work. I'm bringing Jamie in. She's my new virtual assistant who helps me out with a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. So I'm going to bring her on too. I goaded her into coming when I saw her on the live commenting. So she's just coming in to join us here. But Carol, why don't you fire away?
Just lost your voice there, Anna.
I was just saying to Jamie that she looks better than she said she did. She was like, I don't know if I want to come on. I've been momming all day. Okay, Carol, fire away.
Okay, so I'm Carol Mills, and I'm a family doctor in Orangeville, close by to Jill and Anna as well, and really excited to be a part of this group, and so blessed to know all of these women as a part of the journey that I've been on as well. And I really echo a lot of the things that have come up, you know, a lot of similar struggles. So I came to coaching sort of feeling that sense of like that the world was happening to me and there was really no control. And I had no control over that. And, you know, this was at a time where I was covering for a practice that I hadn't intended to due to some uncertain circumstances. And that sort of feeling like work was piling on, and you know, a spouse whose job was a bit unpredictable in terms of hours, and then, you know, trying to do all the things as sort of Nora and Payal and everyone else has said in terms of balance the kids and the school and the, you know, all those things, and be, you know, everything in every aspect of life. And so I think one of the pearls I just want to share is that I've sort of taken away from coaching is that we get to choose how much we want to take away in terms of how much we want to suffer from things that are not in our control. And so I just think about even the little things. So like when the printer doesn't work at the office, right? I mean, you can choose to make that ruin your entire day. You can, you know, complain about it. You can, you know, you can just like, it can sort of spiral you into this, you know, horrible time and add on layers and layers of suffering. Or you can just choose to make it mean that like, great, I'll just find another way to do this, or thank goodness we have faxing, or, you know, like find another way to think about it, or find another way to spend that time when the printer's not working. And so I really think that one of the things that coaching has really taught me is that it's my choice as to whether I want to add suffering to something that already seems negative. And when you choose not to do that, the negative just doesn't seem so bad, right? Because we all know it's 50-50. But we can make that 50 that's sort of negative, you know, become much worse than it needs to be. And so I think that's really my sort of takeaway in terms of coaching and how I think that can, you know, really affect our days on a regular basis. I love what Nora said about investing in yourself. And I think really, I would argue that like by investing in yourself, you're actually investing in everyone around you. Because like, think about all these great women on the panel right now, like all of us have invested in ourselves. And so now like, we're going to invest in the rest of these women out here. And like, I just think, you know, I'm a better person for myself, but I'm also a better person for my kids, for my spouse, for my patients, for the world. And so I think, you know, I just love that sort of idea that investing in ourselves really is about investing in others, because we show up as, you know, the person we want to be, and they show up as, you know, our best self. And that feels really, really amazing to be able to do that. So I'm super excited to be involved in this program and, you know, help other people, you know, just like all of us who, you know, who want to make a change and who feel like there is no control right now, that the world is happening to them. And that's totally okay that that's where you are right now, but it doesn't have to be where you are. And so that's really the value of this. And I would say that like the money is, there's no cost, right? I mean, the money, this is like something that, you know, it doesn't matter how much it costs, you know, to have a life where you feel like you're in control and you are the best version of yourself is like priceless, right?
Invaluable.
Yeah. So I my sort of area of coaching, I mean, I'm similar to a few others in that I'm happy to coach about anything really. But I really do love helping people gain confidence in self-coaching as well, and the importance of sort of really understanding some of the tools that we use and how to become your own best coach as well, and sort of move along that journey as you learn about coaching. So hopefully, yeah, I look forward to working with some of you guys down the road.
Yeah, and that's huge, and such an integral part of what we do, right? Is we don't want people to be dependent on us to do this work, right? It's actually, we're giving you skill set that you can use for life, which is part of the reason why this is invaluable in and of itself. And it's the process that we teach, and we're all aligned in teaching that same process in the way we coach, which is, I think, really wonderful, but also really effective. And there's really a lot of evidence behind this about how effective this is for others. Okay, so Jamie came to join us at the last minute. She's a new addition to my team too. So Jamie's the one who is like upping my social media game, making my posts look better. And I'm gonna get her to tell you a little bit about herself.
Oh my goodness. So I'm just a little bit on the spot here, but I'm really excited to be joining this team. I've been kind of lurking in the shadows and learning about everything that all of you do and the struggles that you're facing and how Anna's helping you. And it's incredibly inspiring. I'm not a physician. I have no medical knowledge whatsoever. But I am, some call me a social media guru, a content creator, a copywriter, a marketer, all of the above. That's kind of my little niche in the internet. And I have a heart for helping small businesses and people that help other people. So when I found Anna and she told me her story and was just so open about what she'd battled and now how she's trying to help other women, I was like, sign me up, please. Like, how can I help? So that's what I do from 9 to 5, or not usually really 9 to 5 at all.
Not 9 to 5, let's be honest. 3 a.m. sometimes.
Like they say like sleep when the baby sleeps, but I think really what that means is work when the baby sleeps, or at least when you're a work from home mom, that's what you do. So I am a work from home mom to a foster daughter who is 9 months old, or almost 9 months old. And other than that, it's my husband and my 2 dogs here in a little corner of Maine. So it's cold and dark and snowy, and that's kind of me in a nutshell. I'm really excited to be here, and I have to say that what all of you do is very oriented towards physicians, but there are so many pieces of what you teach that I pull out and I'm like implementing in my own life, and I'm just like now reflecting and like, wow, I think life coaching would have like saved me from the just burnout that I was facing in an office job. There's so many people that need this and don't know they need it. And I just think it's just so beautiful to watch how much we can love life when we are given the tools to do so. So I think it's great. And somebody was talking about investing in ourselves, and that's something that I've had to learn a lot of, taking rest and investing time in myself. And the biggest thing I've learned is you can't pour into others from an empty cup. So that's just like a real big one, and that's kind of my little life motto.
I love that. Thank you so much, Jamie. Yeah, see, she's even got pearls too. She's so multifaceted. She's like, you put me on the spot, I'll show up, I'll get your social media in shape, and I'm going to bring a pearl too. But I love that, and it's so true, right? And it's so applicable to so many things. And thank you for sharing that perspective as somebody who's not totally immersed in our medicine world, but is learning a lot about us and our crazy perfectionism. But it is so much of this is universal, right? So okay, well, listen, thank you to everybody who stuck it out with us. So I'm going to draw the grand prize winner now. So I've got 6 amazing women here who met all the criteria to potentially win a spot in our next program, which is launching on Monday. So you're going to have the first spot and we'll see who won. Oh, I'm like nervous and excited. Okay, it's Sarah Masood. I don't know if she's here. I haven't seen her type or anything, but she is our grand prize winner. So I'm very excited for her. And thank you sincerely to all of you who participated. Everybody who was involved in the challenge, I'm going to give you a little gift for having been part of this. So all of you will be considered runners up if you decide you want to come and join us. So I will, if you decide you want to join us, I'll give you a little discount code that I've been giving out at my master classes as well, which will let you have $500 off the program if you decide you want to join us. So reach out to me. And thank you all to all of you coaches and to Jamie for coming and hanging out on a Friday. Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any last minute things you want to share or say. And if not, then I hope everybody has an amazing Friday. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what day it is. It's been a long week. Don't blame me if I hide from social media for the weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Anna.
Great to be here.
Thank you.
Have a good night,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas. Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Bye.
Christmas.
Take care.